Hello. I I was down. I had to go to the machine shop again. Have my spacer remade 20 thou thicker because I got an email from uh, the guys I get my Ferrari parts from the States, and they uh, they found the right part. So anyway, geez, what's going on? This road never has traffic. Okay, so anyway, they found the right part, which is kind of good because I haven't got the system together yet. So anyway, after that, I had to do some recalibrating on my measurements. So the shim I had made was to go where I didn't have that little stainless steel dust deflector, which was 18 thou thick. I had the shim made. So anyway, I had another what do you call it? End spacer made. Sound effects. This is the original one, and it's 40 thou too thin. That's how much is wore off the original sleeve between the bearings, because on the passenger side of the car, the bearing is flush, but the beveled edge of the bearing sticks out 20 thou, and my bearing is in my housing 20 thou, so that's 40 thou, which anyway, I'm having a new one of these made that's 40 thou thicker. So the hub that the wheel bolt's on will sit in the right place because it misses the emergency brake by 1/16 of an inch. Anyway, I was down to Chad's and he gave me 4 Rochester 2-barrels. So I'm just taking them out of the car now, and he also gave me air snips. So anyway, I can't actually pick that up with one hand. So in a way, it's a really good thing that I've had complications putting this unit together, because it gave them time to come up with the right part. So what I did here for my checking was I took this axle that I'm not using, that's no good, and I grounded this edge off so that it would slide in my good unit. And this bearing is in just slightly, and it's in actually 20 thou, and it's supposed to stick out 20 thou. So that's where the 40 thou, and 40 thou is not much, but when this hub is in there, this edge right here, you can see that shine, that's where it hit before, but it hit because it was rocking. But when everything is put together properly, the emergency brake, I can probably show you better in here. Right in here, if you can see, grab my little tiny screwdriver. Right here, this just misses right there, and that's just between 1/16, a little over 1/16 of an inch. So anyway, if I put this together and that's in, that means that hub is even closer to that. Plus, it makes the drum disc go in here, and that might even hit. So anyway, I'm quite convinced that, when my spacer that I'm having made, when it gets made and my new dust deflector arrives next week, I'll be able to put it together, and my hub should fit exactly in the right spot here to match this side. And this is perfectly tight. Like, as I said, I think the whole unit was replaced. It was bumped in an accident on the other side and replaced. And then the fiasco began. But this side, everything is original and it's just like brand new. So, but here, a couple years ago, when I put the wheel nuts in here to hold a bar to replace these axle boots, to get these bolts out, I put a bar between the wheel nuts, and I had the disc on here, and I carefully put the bolts in. I screwed the bolts in too far, and when I turned the hub, I could hear a clunk every once in a while. Anyway, the bolt sticking through scraped the edge of this little metal bracket and wore the edge off. So I took this all apart a couple of days ago, and this morning I cleaned it up, and I didn't steel weld it and I didn't MIG weld it. I was told that bronze is stronger than mild steel weld. So I used high strength bronze, and I cleaned it up, and I welded at that little groove that was cut in there from the wheel nuts in with bronze, and then I filed it. I didn't want to heat it up too much, and as soon as it cooled down a little bit, I squirt oil on it so it would keep a little bit of the temper. And over here, this is the part that got destroyed when the hub was rocking. And like, that's the same thing, except for this, the hub came in and hit it more. But I can, that bad system that I bought has this part not scraped. So I can use this when I put things back together, because that's never been hit. But anyway, I'll have to be careful when I put my wheel nuts in, because when you put the wheel nuts in with the wheel nuts they come out flush on the back. But it's only when you put the wheel nuts in for a bar is when you can screw them in too far. And then getting to the next adjustment to take out the axles, that's when those bolts hit that emergency brake thing, and it kind of puts it through quite a bit of strain. But anyway, it's going to be a few days before my parts all arrive. But but by grinding this off and putting my spacer on there, which is still in the car, and dropping it in here, this is the distance between the hub and this. That just barely, that fit right there perfectly on the car. So I put it together with this fitting perfectly, and then I put my feeler gauges in, and it added up to quite a little bit. And then with the dust thing, we calculated that I need that spacer, or that end spacer, a little bit thicker than the original. But again, that was all because of that sleeve in between the bearings wore from the seized up bearing. But anyway, I'm happy about this. Yep. I see this carburetor must be newer. It's a little bigger, but there's 3 there that are good candidates. But anyway, between those 3, and I got some learning to do by the time I get them all on. But by having 6 carburetors, I should be able to build 3. And I have a service manual for a 58 Oldsmobile in the house that is quite detail orientated in telling me how to set it up and everything. So I should be able to follow the book and do it. But it's going to take me a little bit. But one step at a time. But anyway, I thought I'd say hello and let you guys go. Thanks a lot.